They have actually, by the way, look at this. It's beautiful, right?
Bro, there was like, he was like giving feedback and it was like kind of negative, and then he just like fell off the wagon. The dude was just, he went from like, yeah, bro, what the hell? These changes are bullshit. I'm like, this game is bullshit. This company is bullshit. How are they even making money? Why are we still playing it? It just kept getting worse.
They've actually.
Wait, he wrote it down? Vessel said, I'm just going to say it. BDO will die unless these things are fixed. I am curious. I am curious.
Yo, let's get started.
Nice transition. The production value is crazy. They call him fake uniform.
Okay. Yo, today it's a doozy. Today, I just have to go over a trend that I'm seeing in Black Desert Online. And I've been trying to be so positive lately. Today is not the most positive video. I'm going to be following the trend of content creators. Well, we're going to shit on the game a little bit. But it is what it.
The worst part is I get comments on my videos going, Blue, like I said this earlier today, I was like, Blue, why don't you ever have anything positive to say? Bro, I can't win. When I make a positive video about Perlibus, there's Blue. Sucking Perlibus off again. I swear to God, he needs a new pair of Jay's knee pads. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then if I shit on the game, they're like, you are never positive. You are literally the most negative content creator. Shaky?
It is, because as you'll see here, I'm just absolutely tired of them giving.
Bro, I've given positive feedback on the new node word system. I've tried. I genuinely have tried. Just don't feel like it's being listened to.
Giving me content and taking it away. So let's just go right into our catalyst here today. Figure out what started this. This is what started this.
So what are you doing on a tamer? You're scaring me.
Many of you are aware of this. So for many people in game.
Hey, we heard you like Guild League. And we heard you wanted AOS back. Pick one.
BDO is very, very PvP oriented. And by many people, I mean most.
Can't have
most
too
of the
much
people
fun.
That get past a certain point with your gear. Like, there's no point in actually getting your gear up unless you're PvP. But on that same note, so this looks like a great patch note. The guild-based PvP content, Guild League, which has been running on a trial period. Great.
Yeah, this is the weirdest part. Trial period? Who? What? We've had it for like 3 months. What do you mean it's on a trial period? Generally speaking, a trial period is where you change stuff. You haven't changed Guild League in like 2 months.
Will enter a hot time period before its official introduction. During this period, you can acquire special titles along with events offering abundant rewards. That sounds great. So you'll notice hot time trial period ends on July 3rd. Okay. So that means, according to the date right here, that I got 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then
that's it.
It takes approximately a month of reorganization for the official matches. Meantime, the excitement will continue with 3 vs 3 PvP content. And this is what gets horrible.
Hey, Mom. Can we have Guild League? No, we have Guild League at home. Guild League at home.
Horrible. We have been screaming for ranked Solaire for almost a year.
True.
And when they finally give it back to us, they're removing GVG League. These two contents will
literally insane. Literally insane. Do you know the worst part about this? Do you know the worst part? The person that got the hardest this dude goes, he spends like a year of his time of just hundreds and hundreds of man hours making this ranked league. It sets up the Discord. It's got a crazy bot, which moves you into voice. People have like a ranked mode. There's like a league system. Like, he's going to stream it. He's got a plan for that too, even though they said they were going to give us a spectate feature. Soon, TM. That never happened. They let him announce the release for this competitive BDO experience, Solarix, that he spent hundreds of hours on. And I'm not shitting you. The week after he releases this shit, Pearl Abyss goes, hey, you're getting AOS back. You, Armin. Okay. Like, I'm so sorry, but like, I'm not a believer in coincidence. But here's the thing. Armin used to work for Pearl Abyss back in the day. And like, I have to think that they knew that he was working on that game mode, right? And that like that game mode. And the second that he releases it, suddenly AOS is back. That's weird to me. Are you just mad at Armin or what's going on here? Like, why the like, there's no way that was a coincidence. There's not a chance in hell that was a coincidence. But like, on top of that, the rest of the scene can't be happy because we're just going to remove Guild League for no reason. Aren't they sponsoring it? Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah, for 50,000 pearls. LOL.
Alternate.
Dude spent like 500 hours making this league and all of this crazy shit and putting this together. 50,000 pearls.
To keep adventurers engaged in PvP combat. So I have a question for each and every person out there on the internet. In what universe does capped 3v3 like and low caps, like caps from Calpheon
Ace.
with crystals that don't exist in the rest of the game, like BSR crystals and sales, and what universe does that fill the same void or slot or PvP feeling as 10v10 uncapped guild versus guild, right? One of them is a guild activity with a bunch of people involved, and one of them is literally just you.
Yep.
You're not even using 3 people to queue into these 3v3s.
100%. Yep.
It's just you.
He's cooking right now, guys.
This is the catalyst for today's video. Please stop removing content.
Like, what the? Did anyone else feel like Guild League was finished? I thought the trial period ended like a month or 2 ago. I thought it was just sort of in the game now. Like, what?
I've put a star next to time gated content. Please stop removing it. Please stop time gating it. Please stop making it unaccessible. Okay? And I even have a list. I have a beautiful list. Let's look into my list here. So, all that's begun. Let's swap on over to our beautiful Valkyrie where we talk about this. So, time gated / unaccessible content. This is crazy. Let's think about this. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, you already know it's rant time. So, the following content has been time gated.
He's got
since
his
the beginning
notes.
of time. We know this.
He's
Node
got
Wars,
his notes.
Siege. They added AOS. All right, they added Guild League, and then they added War of the Roses. Okay, great. Except for the fact that Node Wars.
War of dog shit. I think War of the Roses is phenomenal content. Why they removed it is beyond me. I think that everyone had a great time with War of the Roses because it was a really good way, even if you're like an endgame PvEer, to like jump into PvP and not have like a bunch of people screaming at you all the time. You could just jump in and participate and kind of just have a good time, either PvEing or PvPing, like fighting over a region. I think that people loved it. I think that people really enjoyed it. And then it's just gone now. We don't even know what happened. What happened? It Thanos.
Was nearly inaccessible for a large amount of people.
Perfectly balanced.
Siege, still very inaccessible for a large amount of people. And it's completely time gated. If you don't have fun, when KR says you have to have fun, you don't even get fun. That's it. We've been complaining about this since the beginning of
I love how his voice raised like 2 octaves. But yes, it's exactly what I said in the fake uni video. 100%. If you're not Korean, they don't
the game. They either just release dead on dead content that they know you won't enjoy, or they'll release content that you know you enjoy and they schedule it for a time that you won't. I don't understand what this line of thinking is. I don't know how this company has made money. I don't know why we're still playing this game. Anyways, so on top of time gating, making content inaccessible, they have actually, by the way, look at this. It's beautiful, right?
Bro, there was like, he was like giving feedback and it was like kind of negative, and then he just like fell off the wagon. The dude was just, he went from like, yeah, bro, what the hell? These changes are bullshit. I'm like, this game is bullshit. This company is bullshit. How are they even making money? Why are we still playing it? It just kept getting worse.
They've actually...
Wait, he wrote it down?
Inaccessible. They have actually, by the way, look at this.
This
Beautiful.
wrote on loose leaf. By the way, you have the writing of like a third grader. Wide ruled notebook paper that he ripped out of a notebook. It's not even college rule. This has been saving this since the 2nd grade.
All right. They've actually removed straight up.
Vessel, pro tip, man. You got... This is great, bro. You got to use this, bro. Notepad is great.
Removes content we enjoyed. Let me go into my examples.
Oh.
AOS ranked. We have not gotten AOS ranked in like 10 months.
Let me go into my examples.
Okay. They just, it's not like they've done anything new. They haven't fixed Scholar. They haven't fixed any of the problems that they're supposed to fix, but they're coming out with another AOS rank. Great. No one's going to care about it. But when they come out with it, they're going to remove Guild League. Have you guys learned nothing from being in charge for 10 years? Come on. All right, so let's look at this. So they removed AOS rank. It's, yeah, yay. It's coming back just in time for them to remove Guild League.
I want to say that as someone that's known Vessel for an extremely long time, I really appreciate that he wrote this shit down, because otherwise he forgets stuff and then he rambles about the one thing for like 15 more minutes until he finally remembers what the next thing he wants to talk about is, and then he starts talking about that. And then for the next 15 or 20 minutes, he's spending all of that ranting time trying to figure out what the next thing he wants to say is. This is much better, Vessel. This whole prep thing is great, man. This is so much better.
Okay, so I'll put that right into this. Guild League. Yeah, why are they removing it? I guess they're afraid people will not do the random 1v1 ranked arena if the 10v10 ranked arena is up
3v3
at the same time. Why isn't there just practice Guild League, huh? Huh?
I love how he gets really close to the camera. Like, why isn't there just practice Guild League? Huh?
That's what I thought. Okay, that's what I thought. So Altar of
That's actually true, though. He makes an excellent point.
Blood. How many of you remember Altar of Blood? I loved Altar of Blood. I know Choice loved Altar of Blood. It wasn't just a streamer thing.
No, we should try not to use the word retard, but if it does happen to come out of your mouth every once in a while, it's not the end of the world.
A lot of people like doing
It's not a TOS word, but like, you know, people just don't like it. So you should try to use other words. I would encourage you to think up new, impressive, better insults that are creative and funny.
Altar of Blood. Altar
It ain't the end of the world.
of Blood was a cool way to get resources. It was fun. I had strategy to it. It was PvE oriented.
Regarded.
And
Yeah.
even PvPers like to do it because of the format of the fight. It was great. And there were good rewards. It's completely gone. It's completely gone. Savage Rift. Do y'all even know what Savage Rift
Who?
is? Okay. So Savage Rift is it was
Savage
originally some
Rift
building
is-
content where like you needed one
It was pretty bad.
builder, right? And you would have one builder and a bunch of people PvPing or PvEing, and you would organize it in a certain way that you would see however long you could survive these waves of monsters, right? It's just
Yeah.
wave after
It was a good concept in theory, didn't work.
wave of monsters. And if you had a builder do everything correctly, he could build everything for you.
Oh my God.
You know, flame tower wise and all that stuff.
It's cool to see
and,
Vessel
you know,
playing Valkyrie again.
you would survive. It was actually super, super fun. All they had to do was revamp the rewards. People would still be doing it to this day. That's completely removed. Okay. Shadow Arena. Yes.
Oh, God,
I
bro.
know everybody's been waiting for this. Holy moly.
Line 'em up, bro.
The Shadow Arena.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably one of our best content ideas of all time. Because at the time, awakenings were prevalent. It got people to relearn pre-awakenings, got people reinvigorated in different classes because you had to play different, you played a bunch of different classes and learned different abilities. And not only that, it was a fun way to progress your character in an in-game minigame without actually grinding in circles all day.
Yeah.
It was so successful. What they do? They gave it its own standalone. It failed miserably.
How dare you? As we said earlier, the day that it passed Fortnite in the Twitch category, absolutely historic.
It never made its way back into the game, and it's honestly pathetic. It was one of the best game modes they've ever had, and they removed it from the game.
Didn't they sponsor Blade BowQuest to play it or something? I feel like Blade BowQuest loved playing that. Am I crazy? I'm pretty sure Blade played it.
Why? Genius! That's all I gotta say. They're geniuses. So let's look at some other removed content, and then I'm gonna go into their PvP fixing lately, because this is kind of goes hand in hand. So they removed the entire flagging system. And by remove the entire flagging system, I mean they may as well have, right? Because at this point, they don't know what they're doing. They have no idea. This game started as a game where you could go red and there's a bandit town and bandit whatever. They didn't even add the bandit town in Ulukita.
Yeah,
they
what the
didn't
hell,
care.
man? They said that we were going to get a bandit town in Ulukita? God. We all thought that was cool. Nope.
They didn't even bother. Why? All they did was break karma, which goes with the flagging system. They just broke karma. That way, it's easier. It's easier to just get rid of PvP than you know, to fix it. Evidently, the only problem with that is you lose all your high-end players. So you got to remember, in order.
Yeah, again, I talked about this in the last video too, but like again, the solution for this, the only way to get organic open world PvP is to have a competition over resources. I apologize. The only way to get organic open world PvP that isn't toxic is to have competition over resources. People have said this before because they feel like I'm under the impression that anytime someone flags up in the open world, they're the devil. That is not the case. Okay? Like, it used to be that open world PvP flagging was just a way of life because you had to fight or you weren't going to be able to grind. And like, that's because server swaps were 15 minutes. There were far less servers to swap to. There were far more players playing the game, and everyone had to compete for the same resources. So as I said previously, essentially, you weren't killing people because you hated them or because you hated their guild, necessarily. You were killing them so that you could grind there. And then you certainly weren't going to follow them to the next server because you had to kill the next 3 people that were trying to kill you off the same grind zone. Because there are just so many people fighting over the same resources. It was a clown fest and it was fun because it wasn't personal. Now, the only way to get organic open world PvP is that it has to be toxic and it has to be personal. They're gonna follow you server to server. That's how it is, man. Now, I will say that old Guild Wars, of course, people were hunting people server to server and stuff. And yeah, that was toxic, but like, it was no different than what everybody else was dealing with at the time anyway. Like, everybody dealt with that shit. Like, you'd swap servers to go follow somebody, he'd already be dead to some other Valkyrie, which is now turboing your ass. Like, that's how it was. You're like, I was killing that guy. And then it's like, nope, now I'm killing you. And like, that's how many people there were. It was crazy. It was fun. Nowadays, you can't have that because there's too many servers. There's too many grind zones. There's no competition for resources. And my solution for this is to literally, I said earlier, bro, literally just open your map and you go up to Medea right here. And 1 week, Sawson's is 3 billion silver an hour. 3.5, 4 billion silver an hour. But only on Arsha. Only on Arsha. So people can swap to the other Arsha server, but like there's only 2 servers and there's only 1 grind zone and there's like 2 rotations for it. So like everyone is just basically just running him down. Yo, Vessel with a huge shout out. Vessel, we're watching your video. I'm reacting to your video right now. I'm talking about it. You guys go give Vessel Vision a follow. I'm going to plug his YouTube when we're finished reacting here. But I'm talking about what Vessel is talking about in his video right here. I think that this would be a great Arsha event. You buff like one of the Medaya grind zones to be 3 to 4 billion silver an hour, but only on Arsha and only for that week. Then all of the PvPers converge on this because it's a competition for resources. All of the PvPers converge on this one location and everyone's fighting each other and it's not personal, right? Then the next week, it's Helms. And the next week, it's Mains. And then after that, it's a Abandoned Iron Mine. And then it's Elric Shrine. And then it's the Wandering Rogues, right? Or whatever. Right? You could even have it rotate over here too. I only use Medaya because those spots aren't getting used for anything anyway. Like, these would be great Arsha events because they create an artificial competition for resources that doesn't make it personal. Right? The reason why people hate open world flagging right now is because, bro, I know the guy that, bro, that's Kevin. It doesn't feel like he's killing me for the grind zone. He doesn't give a about my grind spot. He's standing over me going, haha, loser. Okay? He doesn't care about my grind zone. He just wants to shit on me. And then I'm going to swap servers and he's going to shit on me again. Okay? And he's going to teabag my ass repeatedly. Okay? That's personal and it's toxic and it like nobody likes that. Organic PvP, when it's a competition over resources, it's not personal. It's not personal, kid. It's just that I need this silver more than you do. And you just bury him with Terra Sancta. You know what I mean? Like, go to the next server. I need this one. And then somebody else comes in and you have to fight him too because you're competing for resources. Then it doesn't feel personal anymore. Open world PvP doesn't have to be bad. Just because you flag up doesn't make you a terrible person. But in the current iteration of PvP, it kind of does. In a lot of cases, it's tough to flag nowadays and not be considered an asshole. That's just how it is.
For this game to prosper, at least some of the high-end players have to want to stay. And at this rate, you're going to lose too many of them. So this all goes into what I removed when we moved the flagging system. This is their PvP fixes. Let's look at the PvP fixes that they've done recently.
Oh, no.
Recently, 2024. One-sided decks. Okay, everyone in the entire game that's PvP related was like,
hated it.
I don't want them to change that.
Correct.
But I understand.
Based take from Vessel. Based take. All of the PvPers hated that one-sided decks got removed, but at the end of the day, it's something that affects all players, not just PvPers, and so everyone gets a vote. And when everyone gets a vote, the PvPers get outvoted 6 ways to Tuesday. There's nothing you can do about that.
Okay, it was a slippery slope. Now, you could say, these don't make any sense. I think maybe if a one-sided deck is longer than 10 minutes, it should automatically stop, or a certain time, it should automatically stop. But it was very important. And the reason is, at Odyssey, one-sided decks would be more important now than they ever were before. And I'll explain why. So, no feeding people to mobs. That also, objectively, huge W. No one in the
See, this is why I like Vessel, is because he's an actual PvPer that doesn't just constantly be toxic about everything. He can just be objectively based. You know what I mean? No feeding people to mobs. Yeah, this is an objective win for the game. Everyone that wasn't a PvPer thought this was an objective win. Do you know who hated this change? The PvPers. The PvPers. No, they're the toxic people that are feeding you to oh, now we can't do that anymore. Yeah. You.
PvP community got mad at this, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, that should have been...
this is an objective win, man. Even on Arsha. They changed it recently so you can't be fed to mobs on Arsha too. Huge W, man. Thank God. Now I don't get punished for trying to fight people.
Fixed a long time ago, right? So they got rid of that. They got rid of then they added family-wide karma. All right? So no one-sided decks.
I think family-wide karma came first, but...
no feeding people to mobs. And now, when you go red, your entire family is red. Now, the issue with this was they accidentally buffed... They accidentally buffed karma a little bit.
Yeah.
When they came up with
it was too easy to get around family-wide karma, is what he's saying.
This, and people were literally running around on their red character, and they're grinding out their karma in like an hour on another character.
Correct.
So
or less.
In order to fix this, instead of just adding,
you could pop all of these karma recovery buffs on one character standing at like Pilaku jail, And just like every time you went negative, you could get all your karma back in like 15, 20 minutes.
The family thing, which by the way, I think was enough. They also added the karma changes, which means you can now go negative 10 million, I believe, right? And every time you grind, everything you grind is 4 times less karma. So it actually takes you like 40 hours in a normal grind spot to get all your...
Again, I'm going to say that having known Vessel for an extremely long time, I'm really glad that you wrote this down like a 4-year-old on a piece of loose leaf. This is great. Because otherwise, like, bro, he's got his points lined up. He's making coherent sentences. This is great.
All your karma back. It's
bro, this is... I'm so proud of him because he used to never do this. Buddy, he used to never do this. Like, you would just... Because you would forget what you were talking about. I said this earlier. You would just forget what you were talking about. And then, like... You'd get through your first point, and then you'd forget the next one, so you'd ramble for 15 fucking minutes, and then remember, oh yeah, that's my second point, and then we'd move on to the next point. Then you'd ramble for another 15 or 20 minutes, because you forgot what the next point was, and then, like, you would keep going. But now you have it all on the loose leaf. It's right there, baby. You just go, he said, hold on, I got examples. Hold on. I love it.
Actually crazy. Maybe more. I haven't tested it myself. So on top of all that, they did all of that. So everyone in the PvP scene has basically had open world removed. Okay?
Except for Arsha.
Then they added, let's be fair, they added Guild League as a way to say, okay, now you have some PvP. And then what did they do? They gave us the new Node War changes. Ooh. Okay. So, what do we have to say about this? Guild League, objective, huge W. A lot of people still like the Node War changes. My only issue is there's a lot of problems with the Node War changes, and they haven't...
What was that last bit again?
Guild League, objective, huge W. A lot of people still like the Node War changes.
People like the rewards from Node Wars. The system itself, for anyone that had the old system and knows what we have now and knows what they like about Node Wars, I don't know if any of them like the new Node Wars system. Except for the rewards. People like the rewards.
My only issue is...
The new people coming to Node War who don't know any better, they're like, this is great. I get paid a shitload of money. I go and I die like 20 times and then we just move on. It's fine. Like, they don't know.
There's a lot of problems with the Node War changes, and they didn't really think this stuff through. The Node War changes could be a scenario or battlegrounds that you queue up for so easily. Yep. It could be like a practice Node War. They could have left the old Node War system.
Yep.
They could have left the old Node War system the way it was and fixed it to make it something similar to this gate of entry, and it would have been fine with some rewards. But I have no idea what they were thinking. Even if it just...
There's many ways they could have gone about the Node War changes. And to be clear, not everything with the new Node Wars is negative. Not having to do politics, not having to build the base or set up like fights and stuff, that's a huge win. It's way easier for guilds to get into Node Wars. That's a win. The rewards are an objective win as well. That's really good. Nobody's arguing with those things. The problem is we could literally just... Look, there are so many better systems that could have been implemented to address those changes, and it would have just been better.
Just assigned you to a base in the beginning, it would be better if it just assigned everybody a base, you know. Now let's see. It would actually be a not bad idea. I just came up with that. I just give everybody a base and see who can be still alive at the end. Omega Law.
That's not the worst idea either. But like the problem with that is then you've got the Korean cartel. Well, no, if you give everyone a base at the very start and everyone's fighting, you're going to have politics. And I think that's what they're trying to avoid.
Yeah, along with all of that comes what I call ignored content. So the problem is so deep.
You have RNG placements. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So like, for example, if you have to think about it objectively, right? Like, it doesn't matter that it's RNG placements. What's going to happen is Nerds is going to see that they placed with APOC, and they're just going to work together to keep their 2 forts alive until the end of time remaining. Yeah, like there's just going to be politics in that system, and they're trying for no politics at all.
They're completely ignoring all the most important content.
Mm-hmm.
They're removing our favorite content when
True.
we want it and
True.
telling us exactly when we.
I have never seen a PvP content get such widely positive reception like Guild League. Guild League is without a doubt the best PvP change I have ever seen added to the game, period dot. And they're going to remove it for at least a month. They said it's a month. Let them cook.
We have to play it. Oh, you
Shadow Arena? Guild League's better than Shadow Arena. I get to play with my guild members.
can't play this content for another month until it's between this time slots of 10 p.m. and this. Like, who are these people and why do they decide when and where we get to have fun? Is this how you make a game? I want you to know that, and since the very beginning of Black Desert Online, I have thought the second a game comes out that is better than Black Desert Online, that doesn't schedule the PvP for when they want it, that doesn't schedule the fun or remove the content, I will be happy to move to that game. Unfortunately, there hasn't been a better game, but literally it's been the same thing since the beginning and it's just gotten worse. So let's look at the ignored.
Now, to be clear, there is a way to get the developers to hear your voice.
길드리그를 돌려주세요. 우리는 그것을 간절히 원합니다.
We're good?
Content completely ignored. So let's look at stuff like Red Battlefield. Oh God, who here loves Red Battlefield? You know what I mean? Like, I just love me some Red Battlefield. So Red Battlefield is great because every couple years they realize they need to do something to it, and they literally do one thing. They add in just the Valencia.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Vessel. RVF. Keck W, bro. Mm-hmm. 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 If it makes you feel any better, Vessel, there has never been any feedback that they could take for RBF. They have no idea what they could possibly do. There's no way to improve it. They just can't figure it out. Perhaps from maybe, I don't know, somebody that's done RBF his entire career. Literally, absolutely no feedback has been given. None whatsoever. He even had his own Q&A on it. That's crazy.
See a map. Do they change the map? No.
OG Lord, thanks for the Prime sub, but I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for dropping it here, man. Yeah, no, if they just listened to choice, I think RBF would actually be much better.
You know? But and then they have these gimmicks. The gimmicks that they have in PvP are so bad that everybody complains about them, and then because they are ignoring it, you know, like the Garmoth RBF, all they had to do was give us Garmoth's Nest and make it an RBF, and it would have been a slam dunk. Instead, it has Garmoth flying around. It has buffs that you can get that are...
Garmoth RBF. I forgot about Garmoth RBF, bro. Half the new players are going, who? Are you talking about the GVG after Garmoth? Oh, I don't participate in that.
Super imbalance. And then you have to jump down. Like, what about the first RBF that came out, Castle Ruins? What about all the input saying, this would be great as long as I didn't have to jump down into death? Did you not learn? They didn't learn.
Actually, wait. Guys, we can make them listen. Holy gaming. All right, go ahead.
So, team battle. Y'all even know what team battle is? Is team battle even still in the game? Let me find out. Let's look. Is team battle even still here?
What the hell is team battle?
Team battle used to only exist on certain channels.
What the is team battle?
And yeah, I don't even know if it exists anymore. I believe it still does. I was in team battle.
I've never
couple
heard of
weeks ago.
team battle. I don't even know what that is.
You know what I mean? Like, how bad is this stuff? So, team battle.
I can't even find it.
I believe it's a 5v5 mode that literally no one uses. Literally, like they may have actually taken it out because it just, I don't think anyone's ever used it. Like I was in there by myself with a couple people on my stream a couple weeks ago. They've never fixed it. So team battle, wonderful, great job. How about every single group grind? Okay, half the game, most of the game is solo, but every single group grind gets outdated within like a year or two of them making it. Why don't they update these group grinds? Why don't they add more group grinds? Why can't they do LV assassins? Like
Stop what you're doing. Okay. I want group PvE content that isn't just grinding. Reach bigger. He's not wrong. We want more Olins. You know what I mean? We want more Olins. But like, please give us group content for PvE that isn't just going in whatever geometric shape you think is best.
There's so much like basic stuff that they could add in. Why can't I do 5-man something with anybody? Like the idea of having to get to where I am and then still grind everything solo by myself.
Dungeons aren't bad. That's true. Vessel, when we're speaking English, if you put an S on the end of something, it makes it plural. So in Black Desert, we have dungeon. Okay. And what you said was dungeons. And I'm concerned that what you think we have is more than one. It's different. It's different.
It's just, I mean, it's horrible. Their idea of in-game is, well, they want you to buy as many costumes as possible and click demos. That's it. And the pit of so boring. I call this more ignored content because it feels like it's been exactly the same. Have I done it myself? No, it's so boring. I got to do 100 crown stones a day.
Holy
that sounds
shit.
like a lot, right?
Hey, Vessel, do you remember when you told me you were going to quit Dismantled because Ashes of Never Being Created was finally coming out 4 years ago? Just something that popped into my head.
But then you realize I gotta do that every day of the month for 3,000 crown stones, and if I grind 1 hour, I can buy 1,000. Like, so I gotta do something every day of the month to get a negligible amount of resource that means nothing in the grand scheme of things. It's just gonna.
Oh, Pit of Undying meets one of the two criteria for people to do stuff in Black Desert. The developers think that one, good rewards, okay, or two, it has actually good content. Okay? Like, realistically speaking, there's a third hidden option. All right? We just really want to look cool. Players in Black Desert would absolutely do content if you allowed them to look really cool. All right? This is the reason that people do content in BDO. Good rewards, actually, that if the content is actually good, this is like bartering is a good example of this. AOS is a good example of this. AOS does not have good rewards, but people do it anyway because it's really good content, right? Good rewards would be like Node Wars. It's terrible content, but people do it because it gets good rewards, right? That's a good example of that. We want to look cool. A perfect example of this, and this is the easiest change. They should put me on the development team. You just hit K like this. It's really simple. Over here on this right side, if you hit 4,000 skill points, there's a skill in your witch's kit that will change voltaic pulse to green. That's it. That's all it does. It doesn't do any more damage. Doesn't give you any more AP. It just changes the lightning to green. Right? Like, or it changes the fire of Cataclysm to blue. Right? Take content that's already in the game and give us something that looks really cool. Okay? Give us something that looks really cool. People would grind that so fast. You make skill points relevant in a way that doesn't hurt new players. Right? You give players something to grind for that is super low effort on your end. All right? And it gives the players something that like flexes how long that they've been playing that particular class. That like literally this is just a slam dunk. And this is just one example. Like really, like again, and then there's like the Orzeka set, right? Like everybody talks about how cool the Orzeka set is. Well, what if you got 10 Orzeka helmets? You could melt them all down and create one Orzeka set that had blue glowing eyes instead of red. Or you glowed like your entire body glowed a little bit like a blue tinge on your body. Because you had 10 Orzeka sets instead of just the one. We just want to look cool, man. Like, people would love shit like that. Like, it would be really cool. People would do it, man. And it takes an intern, like, 4 minutes.
It's another L. So, what does all this mean? All this means Perlibus needs to stop taking away content. If you come up with something good, don't take it
War of the Who?
away. Don't take it away. What is wrong with you people?
Hey, guys, don't worry. Pen Black Star Colors next week. That was in March.
And if you come up with something bad, address what the people are saying about it and fix it. Instead of leaving it like that for years and years and years and years. The reason no one believes your Node War system is going to be fixed is because the last Node War system you gave us was the Risk Node War system with allies. And you said you were going to fix that. You said you were going to fix that. Okay. Then why...
I forgot about the risk. Bro, the risk system is the worst example. It's the best example. It's the most egregious fuck up I have ever seen Perlibus actually make. This is insane. It's like the developers, they had this idea. They're like, what if Node Wars was just Risk? And like, we could only attack an adjacent node. And then you had to defend on multiple nodes. It's genius. It sucks. Okay. They released it in Korea. It completely tanked. The entire system was a complete failure. Everyone quit Node Wars. It was terrible. It goes away for 6 months. And then out of nowhere, and I mean out of a rabbit out of a hat, we get the global new Node War changes. And I'll never forget, I go to watch the new Node War system. I'm like, ooh, new Node War rework. Oh, what's this? And then Enclave is like, so it's gonna be like Risk. And we're all like, wait, what? Like, it was the exact same system. They changed literally nothing. It failed like a dumpster fire in Korea. And they changed nothing. Waited 6 months and then gave it to the entire world. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. And then guess what? It failed everywhere else too. And Vessel's right. It took them a year to get rid of that system and actually say, yeah, we f***ed up. Our bad.
Is Chomi's still allied with Cho? Why is Black Rose allied with Digital? I'll tell you. Because they never fixed it.
True.
Ever.
Yeah. The reason our alliance system is 150 out of 150 instead of 100 out of 100 like it used to be is because of that system, and they never reverted it.
Haven't ever fixed it. So, in summation, the game's end game is mostly PvP. Let's be real. Even all the Capcom content aims towards PvP.
It should be PvE too, though. Let's be honest. as much as we all like PvP, well, most of us don't, but like as much as like I like PvP and everything, most of the game's content has tremendous potential in PvE.
PvPers, all the uncapped content is really PvP. You get plenty of gear to grind anywhere in the game well before you're near cap. The only reason to get a bunch of gear is PvP. And PvP is, if you look at all these things,
Yeah, so you can do Balanos and Serendia more efficiently.
mainly ignored.
He's got another page. Did y'all see this dude pull over another page? Hold up.
Mainly ignored. PvP is, if you look at all these things,
Pull out another piece of
mainly
loose lip.
ignored.
Hold on. Let me go to my next page.
It's especially time gated. It's been removed.
Hold on, he lost himself. Hold it. Let him cook.
And it's generally considered a waste of time. Absolutely crazy. Now, I just don't understand it. How can it all be inaccessible? Example, War of the Roses. Everybody would love to do War of the Roses except the top 2 guilds. Why is the top 2 guilds set up in that? No thinking at all went into this. So, let's not worry about it, but let's ask Pearl Abyss to move forward. Can you please finish something? Can you please properly release something without taking something else away? Like, if we've been asking for ranked 1v1 or one-person arenas for over a year, why do you think that the second you give us that, you can take away, I don't know, Guild or League? Like, what is wrong with you people? I'm always so positive, but now I am really wondering what on earth is going on at Pearl Abyss. Thank you so much. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to my rant. Whew. Probably gonna get in trouble for that one.
Wait, you still have a full minute. What?
Love you all dearly. I still love Black Desert Online. I still big fan. Leading the guild Kazarka with my buddy Saiku. We're doing great. I have to speak on my grievances. If they time gate or remove, any more PvP, I'm just gonna seriously ask myself what I am doing here. Like, why are we
There's nowhere else to go, man.
here? Right? That's why are we here? And that's it. That's it. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening to my rant. I know I'm entirely based, but hey, typical Black Desert Online player. Y'all have a wonderful day and catch me. I'll be live tonight. You know what it is, man.
Yeah, it's true.
Jeez. Another one.
Vessel. Okay, I was gonna say, why is there still 30 seconds left in the VOD, Vessel? Like, he does the outro like 3 times, bro. Here, let me throw it up mode here. You guys need to go interact with the video. Another incredibly based take from Vessel.